So if elected president, you could appoint up to 4 justices to the Supreme Court. What types of individuals would you appoint to the court?
That's a great question. So let's begin with this basic point that I think often is lost. And every time we have a chance to do Supreme Court nominees, we should take the opportunity to remind people of this. The Supreme Court is an appellate court. It is the highest appellate court in the country. It is not a trial court, which means it is not a trier of fact, it is a trier of law. It's supposed to apply the law, and in the case of the Supreme Court, its job is to apply the Constitution of the United States to the constitutional issue before it. And we need to understand that, because every time they appoint a nominee, people say, well, what kind of judge will they be? What do they believe about this issue? What do they believe about that issue? That's not the question. The fundamental question when appointing someone to the Supreme Court, and quite frankly any federal appellate court, is what do they believe about the Constitution? Do they believe that the Constitution is a living and breathing document designed to adjust itself to new realities in the world? Or do they believe that the Constitution is a document that was written as a document of limitation, that enshrined in it limitations on the power of the federal government, and that its job basically is to ensure the federal government does not intrude into the powers of the states and the individual? I believe the second part. I believe the Constitution is not a living and breathing document. Because if it is a living and breathing document, then it doesn't really mean anything. You can change it every 10 years to mean the statutes. The law that they pass out of Congress, that's living and breathing. You can change the law, you can change it back and forth. You can't change the Constitution. You know, I don't want to go too long on this, but I wanted to share this with you. I was in Utah on Monday, and the governor of Utah gave me this little note that he passes around, and it's got a lot of great things in it. It says states finding solutions to improving lives. But it has a quote from Federalist 45, and here's what it says. The powers delegated by the proposed Constitution to the federal government are few and defined. Those which are to remain in the state governments are numerous and indefinite. And so you ask me what my criteria is. My criteria is someone that no matter what their personal opinion is, understands that their job will be to apply the Constitution as it was written and amended, not to manipulate it to reach some sort of policy end that they believe in. And more importantly, someone who understands that the Constitution as well as a document of limitation, that contained within it are enumerated powers that belong to the federal government, and everything else belongs to the states, local communities, and ultimately you as individuals.